All right, let's get right into it. We're going to figure out how to use sound to make studying, well, less of a chore and a whole lot more effective. Think of it like finding your own personal superpower for getting into the zone. You know the feeling, right? You sit down, you've got your books open, and suddenly, literally anything is more interesting than what you're supposed to be doing. Your phone buzzes, you hear your family downstairs, and just like that, your focus is gone. It happens to everyone. But what if you could put up a shield against all of that? That's the whole idea here. The right sound can create this amazing personal study bubble. It basically blocks out the noisy world, helps you chill out, and lets your brain actually absorb what you're reading without getting overwhelmed. Okay, so let's start with the most obvious choice for most people, music. How exactly can a good soundtrack help you lock in and really focus? So when it comes to study music, you've got two major players. On one side, you have classical music. It's got that soothing, steady vibe that's just perfect for when you're deep into reading a textbook or trying to write an essay. Then you've got instrumental beats like lo-fi hip-hop. These are more modern, super rhythmic, and they're fantastic for keeping your energy up when you're grinding through math problems or other repetitive tasks. It's all about creating that productive momentum. This brings up a huge question that you've probably heard before. This whole idea that listening to composers like Mozart can somehow give your brain a temporary boost. But is there any truth to that? Well, this is what people call the Mozart effect. It all started with the theory that listening to Mozart could temporarily make you better at things like spatial reasoning. That's your brain's ability to picture and manipulate shapes in 3D, like when you're solving a puzzle. But here's the real secret. It's not that the music itself is magically making you smarter. It's really all about your mood. Listening to music you enjoy puts you in a better headspace. It makes you feel more alert and positive. And when you feel good, guess what? You naturally do better on tasks. So it's a huge benefit, just maybe not in the way people thought. Now, let's talk about the ultimate goal of any study session, getting into a flow state. You've definitely felt this before. It's when you're so locked into a video game or a good book that the rest of the world just disappears and you completely lose track of time. That's flow. And that steady, predictable rhythm of instrumental beats can be a fantastic shortcut to getting your brain into that super focused zone. Okay, so we've covered what works. Now we have to talk about what doesn't. And this is hands down the number one mistake most people make when they pick their study music. It really just comes down to basic biology. Your brain is literally hardwired to notice and try to understand human voices. It's a survival thing. So the moment you press play on a song with lyrics, you're basically sending a direct order to your brain to stop what it's doing and listen to the words. And this breaks it down perfectly. Think of it as a focus fight. Your eyes are reading your textbook. That's language task number one. At the same time, your ears are hearing lyrics. That's language task number two. Your poor brain is stuck in the middle trying to process both at once. And the result? Your focus gets split right down the middle and you'll remember way less of what you just studied. So the main takeaway here is super clear. You absolutely love that new album. Awesome! Just save it for when you're doing chores, at the gym, or on the go. When it's actually time to hit the books, go wordless. It'll make your study time way more productive. But what if you're one of those people who finds all music distracting, even the instrumental stuff? No problem. There are some really great non-musical options out there that can build a completely different kind of study bubble. Have you ever tried nature sounds? Things like rain falling or ocean waves create this constant wall of sound that is amazing at blocking out other noises. And since there are no melodies or beats, there's nothing to grab your attention. This makes it perfect for deep thinking. And on top of that, these sounds are actually proven to help lower your stress levels. And of course, we can't forget the ultimate alternative, pure silence. For some people, and especially for really tough subjects, any sound at all is just too distracting. Silence lets your brain dedicate 100% of its power to the work in front of you. So if background noise just isn't your thing, that is a totally valid and powerful choice. Okay, so you've picked your sound. Or maybe you've picked silence. Now let's just quickly go over a few practical tips to make sure you get the whole setup just right. First up, volume. The sweet spot is right around 50 decibels, which is about as loud as a quiet conversation. You want it just loud enough to mask distracting noises, but quiet enough that you can still easily hear your own thoughts. If it's too loud, the sound just becomes another distraction itself. And if you are building a playlist, here are a few rules. 1, make it at least an hour long so you're not constantly messing with it. 2, and this is a big one, use songs you already know. Why? Because when your brain hears new music, it gets curious and wants to figure it out, which pulls your focus away. And of course, make sure there are no surprise ads or radio DJs talking. All right, if you really want to level up your study bubble, especially if you're in a noisy place, there is one piece of technology that is an absolute game changer. Noise-canceling headphones. They are incredible. Not only do they physically block out distractions, which means you can listen at a lower and safer volume, but there's a cool psychological trick too. Just the act of putting them on can become a powerful signal to your brain that says, okay, fun time is over, it's time to focus. Look, after all is said and done, the most crucial thing to remember is that you are the expert on your own brain. There's no single perfect sound for everyone. What works for math might not work for history. The key is to just experiment. Try a few different things and pay close attention to what actually helps you get in the zone. So, what's it going to be? Soothing classical music, rhythmic beats, the sound of rain, or maybe just pure, focused silence? The power to create your ultimate study environment is all yours. Now go find it.